another episode of Tjibaria's Daily Show, and it's very special edition, which is student success stories. And yesterday we had one episode already with some amazing students, and today, oh my goodness, this is going to be so exciting because we've got some real superstars here with me today. But before we do that, I'm just very quickly going to do my checks and make sure that everything is working properly. So if you are watching this on the replay, comment below replay. And I'm just quickly checking that everything is working all right. And just want to say a big hello to everybody who is tuning in here right now. Comment below and do let me know where you are tuning in from. As usual, it's always good to know. And let me just get the party started and make sure that the sound is working properly. Hey, Lennon, how you doing? Today is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Dad, love you. Mwah. All right, this one is working. Hello. And welcome, Curiosity Fowl. Curiosity Fowl, let me just say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Curiosity Fowl. Happy birthday to you. A big happy birthday to you, and just really cool. You're such an awesome FLCer. So yeah, that big happy birthday. Also a big happy birthday to one of our amazing wealth yogis, China. Happy birthday to China. Happy birthday to China. Happy birthday to dear China. Happy birthday to you. Alrighty, so just almost finished with all the checks. And then we are good to go. So welcome everybody. Hey Gloria, nice to have you on. Do let me know where you guys are tuning in from as usual. So we got Lennon in the house. Hey Lennon. We got Deline in the house. Hey, how you doing? We got Dad in the house. I love you, Dad. And we've got Curiosity, like we see before. Black screen. No, not really black screen. I am here. If you guys can see me, then do send some love hearts. And we got Cape Town in the house. Super nice. Alrighty, cool. So as you guys know, today we have a very special episode because what I've been speaking about before with you guys is that when you go into business, there's so much excitement to it. There's so many nice things that you want to do. You want to help people. You want to make a difference, right? Hey, we got Timothy in the house as well. Hey, Timothy, cool to have you on. And you know, you have a big mission or excitement or enthusiasm to go and make a difference to the world, right? Or to go and create a new income stream. But then always when it comes to that, you have to remember, and I want you guys to comment it below, is that you need to bring money in. Okay? Comment it below, everybody. You need to bring money in because obviously if you want to be able to do more good things, if you want to be able to keep your business and run it sustainably, you need to know how to get the cash flow come in. You need to go how to make profit because otherwise, if you do not know how to do that, then after a few months, you will be quitting your business because it's just not sustainable anymore. And so what we talked about, like I said to you guys yesterday and the day before, is that you know, what is very important, first of all, to realize is that there is this climb in the business, right? There is this climb where at some point you need to see like, okay, how am I going to bring in that money? How am I going to sell? How am I going to market? How am I going to get the conversions, right? And in that moment, a lot of the time, and this is the devastating fact, a lot of the time people give up before it has even begun. And so because of that fact, it is extra important to be aware that you need to keep on going. And again, I want you guys to reaffirm these positive learnings and these positive, you know, mantras or different things that can help you going as well. So comment below and say, I will keep on going. And I'm super excited as well for you guys because yesterday as well as today, we have shared like a number of phenomenal students who have broken through the money-making barrier. And what does that mean? It means that they have been able to see the power of serving people. They have seen that when you have something that is powerful, that can make a difference to someone's life, it can get them from A to B, then it is your duty to bring that communication to them. It is your duty to sell it to them. And how much of a difference can that make to that person? And so, like I said before, once you learn it, once you know it, once it clicks, it can never unclick. Once you know it, and you're set for life. And so again, I'm super happy to introduce to you guys some amazing superstars that will share their story and the different things that they went through that allowed them to really be able to serve on a higher level and to bring in money and to allow their business to become sustainable. So if you guys are excited for that, comment below and say excited, because I want to see you guys being excited, because these superstars, they took out their valuable time and they're here to vibe with us. And you guys are going to be excited for me to bring them on, because if no one's excited, I'm going to say, okay, you guys can just stay wherever you are and we're not going to do this. So comment below and say I'm excited. And if I see, yeah, you guys are very excited, then we're going to bring them on. So let's bring it on, okay? There we go. Nice, nice, nice. I see a lot of funny emojis coming up. So I think you guys are legit excited. Thank you so much for the comments in there. Alrighty, cool. Let's bring them on. So first to the floor is an amazing, amazing, amazing superstar. And his name is, it's Rajesh Official. We're going to bring him on and poof. Welcome to the show. Let me unmute you so you can actually hear you as well. Hello, Rajesh. Welcome to the show today.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm super excited, actually, I'm really, really happy, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share. Sorry?
Thank you so much for being here. It's very, very nice to have you on. And you are such a superstar. And I cannot wait for the crowd to get to know you as well. Yeah. And also, we've got two amazing other superstars that are joining us here, that are the amazing Christina Inspires and Scuba Steve Official. We're bringing them to the floor right now. I can see a timer on my end. I don't know if you guys already see them, but let's put it all together like this. So welcome to the floor, the amazing Scuba Steve and Christina. Hey, guys.
Hey, Tjibaria.
Hi, Tjibaria.
So nice for you guys to be on here.
So excited. Thank you for having us. Hi, Rajesh.
Christina, hey, Steve.
I know, it's so good to see you again, bro. Actually,
we haven't seen each other in a long time, right?
It's been forever. We love lockdown. Hey, I just want to say real quick a shout out, because I noticed Val's on. So Valentino, happy birthday, bro.
Yay!
Valentino, happy birthday. Have a wonderful year ahead, bro.
Yeah, nice. Thank you guys so much. Now, I just wanted to start off saying that, I'm very, very happy that you guys are on here, because again, right, it's so beautiful to see that you guys must have felt this many times in your lives as well, especially when you're serving people, that whenever you speak to a person or whenever someone comes on board on your program or on anything that you're helping them with, in the beginning, you see something in them, right? You see something in them and you can see like, whoa, this person has so much potential. And when you then see that potential come out, like boom, like really you see the power that they have and you see how they are serving other people, that is something so valuable. Can you guys like resonate with that? Have you ever had it before as well? Like with a person that you're speaking to and you feel like, yes, finally what I see is like it's actually coming true. And with regards to that, I just want to say I find it very, very, very beautiful the way how you three stand in life, because I've had the pleasure obviously to talk to you guys like offline and obviously throughout the Wealth Yogi program, and that's why I want to have you guys on here so that you can share with other people as well, like what were the things that you went through. And I want to start off with Rajesh, right? Amazing Rajesh. He is such a superstar. This guy, he just goes on and on and on and on. And it doesn't matter what he's putting his mind to. He's just like, okay, I'm going to do this. And like with such a huge, huge smile. And one thing that I think is also like very, very beautiful is that how you talk about something which is the inner child. And I want to ask you a question about that, because a lot of people who are watching this right now, who are either, creating their own freedom lifestyle, they're creating their own business or their own results in whichever area in life. I have seen that you, with your exuberance of life, your happiness, your excitement, childlike excitement, how that has been of tremendous value to the results that you have been getting. So I would like to first ask you, can you a little bit introduce yourself? Where are you from? And then share like what is the concept of inner child and how has that helped you in order to achieve success?
Sure. It would be really a pleasure for me to actually share. So I'm from a very small village in India. Then I went into university studies. Then I actually ended up in Dubai. I spent almost 13 years in various. I started as a job. Then I went into the management level. Then I became an entrepreneur by setting up a few things, and then I went into venture capitalism, where I invested in companies. Then I went to India. After that, somehow I was feeling something is missing in me. I was really earning good, but then I went back home. Then I took over my dad's business, or I was actually kind of handling. And however, the journey from there to here is absolutely different, because I was actually consistently searching. My inner child has been continuously pushing me to search. Hey, you're doing very well in what you're doing, but something is missing. So that continuously asking that question, that what is missing, put me into a place that, yes, while I'm learning, there is something which I need to contribute. Then I started contributing, because I have actually kind of, from the time I know the value of the education. So from the time I got out of university, I started, sponsoring at least one or two kids into the, education throughout the time. Even my daughter's birthday happens by at least sponsoring to one student for the education. Then I realized somewhere, I realized one, two is not really satisfying. It has to be something big. And again, there, that inner child was the one which was actually pushing me. And actually coming to the execution of it, I've been into various positions. However, the execution of the rules or the game is totally different when you come here, when you're serving people. Because I wanted to serve people, but I'm not a pro at it. What I knew before serving is only about giving money. That was my limiting belief at that time. Yeah, the kind of understanding about serving, in fact, there is a saying: instead of giving a fish to a person, teach him how to fish. That kind of started asking a lot of questions within me, that, okay, how do I do it? I don't know how to teach fishing. I know how to give fish, right? So that curiosity has built in me that, yes, I have to learn how to teach fishes, how to teach fishing. That built so much of curiosity. I started going, and one of the most exciting thing is when I'm talking to these people who are actually kind of wanting to understand, who are really thinking about how they can elevate their life. Most of the time, I'm purely talking about, my heart out, exactly how we can help, and whether it is really suitable or not. However, in the beginning, it was quite difficult, because whatever we have been living with certain beliefs are totally different from what we need to do, because teaching is different from just learning. So, so that when I get into a conversation, my inner child gets activated.
Yeah, we know.
And the moment that happens, I don't need to do anything. I just need to listen, and then kind of give them a solution. And the kind of messages I get, now it is a very common thing that I get, that thank you so much for me to actually put me on into so and so, put me into this, and your conversation alone has empowered me. This is an experience which cannot be experienced in everything I did so far.
Yeah.
I've seen many. I've seen top management positions in corporate companies. I've seen various aspects of life, but nothing is compared to this, when you're actually kind of giving your time, making them understand what is their problem in their language, and showing them a solution. This entire thing is such a beautiful thing. So my inner child has become very active now. In between, it was a kind of a dormant situation in between, when I was kind of working for a very, very long hours. So for me, it is very simple. Every single person should keep the inner child active, because I've had calls where even people, they just had a glimpse of their inner child, but they gave up because of people around them. So I would rather say, keeping the inner child active is our own right, and that helped me. Number one, on my own aspect, it allowed me to have my inner child active. Second, that is the nature which is actually helping other people. So what I really came into this journey has been really, really fulfilling for me, and successful as well. In that process, success came as a byproduct.
Yeah, this is so beautiful, and I think I completely agree with you, because a lot of the time as well, and this is something that all of us will have been through, is that there are some moments where things are a little bit scary. There are some moments where you feel like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, right? It's so awkward, and what do I do? But the beautiful things, and you describe this as well, whenever you go live, or within your education that you provide people, you say about the fear is not something that should hold you back. If you think about a child, and this is for everybody who's watching this as well, that you need to understand that as children, we are so much more adventurous. We are so much more playful. We take action, and we don't let different things stop us. And I think what you describe right here, and how you take that inner child into every single process, is just a very, very beautiful example of how success can then come very fast as well. And I think it's just really, really beautiful that you share that. And just ask one more thing as well, as a question to you with regard to fear, because in the beginning, or let's say fear or challenge, right? In the beginning, no matter what whether for the first time you pick up a phone and you're selling a completely new product, or you're about to, I don't know, get yourself into a situation where you'll be like, oh, I've never done this before, like the headstand you were talking about before, right? Like how do you activate that inner child for everybody who's watching right now, that they can, like, I want to be just like Rajesh, activation inner child. How do you do that?
It's first thing is awareness that it is going to be uncomfortable. And the moment you know that it is going to be uncomfortable, the second question comes is, then why do you want to do it? For me, it's very clear. I have a very, very stronger why to actually, for me to consistently communicate. It was very uncomfortable for me. Most of my meetings are totally different, and I was into sales before as well. But then when I come here, my only purpose is to exactly understand and serve. And the moment my purpose is to serve, then I get the strength to go past that uncomfortable stretch. And it's not that far. And I felt very awkward when I was kind of calling and saying that, I mean, why? What am I doing, right? And that other person is really kind of in a mood, like, most of the time, this is what I see, except very few people. In that kind of very volatile situation, unless you make them understand what is a solution for them, and then you need to really come out of your uncomfortable situation. And then I need to look at, I've got several scenarios which I used it, pretty much my personal things. One is, when I was coming, I wanted to go for skydiving. So that is one of the things which activatedly, I was using it during this process.
Yeah.
So excited to do skydiving. I go up, and just before jumping the plane, I was thinking, why do you want to do it? Nobody is asking you anyway. That no, that is when I decided the purpose is actually to explore myself. And the moment I did it, I could actually, after that, that fraction of second was a challenge. I faced skydiving several times during last 1 month. I literally did skydiving because that purpose has to continuously come in front of me, that yes, I'm calling actually to make sure that I serve that person on the other side. The moment that comes, I find strength to go through the journey. And some places where I even had a situation, I mean, people have to understand anything new is going to be uncomfortable. But once your why is very strong, this uncomfortable is not at all uncomfortable. It's a growth journey. So I every single, I don't know how many scenarios I have faced with so many different types of people from different walks of life and different parts of the world. However, every single time, I don't know whether how much they know about it, but they taught me as much as I was teaching them. They were parallelly teaching me. The moment my mindset was in the end result, where this person has to really take themselves to next level in the area of serving instead of in the area of sales.
Yeah.
That kind of empowered me to kind of push them to take an action so that they change their life. So for me, that skydive and this mindset was really two big things which I used a lot. Success, pretty much my success is related to these two concepts.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. And I want everybody to write it down, right? Is that whenever you really focus we spoke about this yesterday as well. It's so beautiful how it gets to exactly the same point, because it's so true, right? Whenever you focus on people, whenever you focus on helping and serving people, that's the basis of everything. If you really focus like, hey, I want to make a difference to a person, then with that, sales and making money is such an effortless process. So comment that below. Focus on helping people. Focus on serving people. So thank you so much for that, Rajesh. And I would like to bring it to our next superstar, and this amazing guy, Scuba Steve. I just want to say, like, you are like, you're so wonderful.
Aw.
And throughout the whole Well Yogi program, not only have you been super fast with, putting everything together, like you're such a whiskit. you're so tech savvy, and you know exactly how to do everything. But not just that, you are also serving other people and serving other Well Yogis with, with whatever you produce. And I think that is such a beautiful characteristic that you have. And speaking more about that beautiful characteristic of just coming from surfing 24/7, what has been, like, in your experience of, again, money making that we're talking about right now, that so many people feel, when I pick up the phone, it can be so difficult, and when, like, how do I sell, and how it's awkward to ask for money. Like, out of all people, I think you really almost, like, I don't know if you are the one who made most calls out of everyone, or like almost most calls, but in any case, you've spoken to so many people. What I want to ask you specifically in this journey, and knowing the character of really wanting to help people, what has been the turning point in calling and being able to serve and being able to get money in? What, like, from your vast experience from, doing this, what would your message be to other people who are feeling like, how do I even go about picking up a phone and starting a conversation? Like, what can you share from your journey and your experience?
Well, it started off exactly like that for me. The the concept of calling and closing, or calling and selling, and calling and serving, like, I'd never done that before, and quite honestly, my entire life, I never wanted to do it. It was something that I knew absolutely I was never going to do. It was super uncomfortable. I wouldn't know what to say. So the first thing was the training, obviously, but there was a lot before learning how to actually call and talk to people. I would say over this past year of my life is where I've learned a lot about just energy, like what you put out, what you get back. I've learned the concept that selling is serving, and that statement it's so much deeper than its face value. Like, you can say selling is serving, and most people logically will say, yeah, I understand it, but I don't think that they really do. And so for me, I think what made it really easy, because I was shocked, I gotta be honest, like, the first phone call that I made was an immediate investment in our largest program. I was blown away. So, and the first thing I thought was, oh my God, this is so easy. And I was way wrong. But it's a great boost. It was a great shot in the arm. But what I learned from my very first phone call, and even throughout every other person that I've connected with, is one, you absolutely have to believe in what it is that you are selling, what you're sharing. The other thing is, you've got to be able to, like, on an energetic level, connect with someone. And then you've got to have options, like, is there something that you can actually have to serve somebody? And I would say that's kind of been the biggest thing for me in connecting with almost everybody that I've spoken with. I can easily, like, wherever they're at resonates with me. Most of the people are very, very spiritual. Very few are business minded. The business minded folk actually are a lot easier. They completely understand the opportunities. But the cool thing about, the majority of the crowd being very, very spiritual is I can relate my entire journey from when I started to where I am at now, and easily identify where they are so that I can relate to them. And then it really gives me the ability to share, what do I think is actually going to serve this person? Because most of the things that we have, I don't even bring up. I just know that it's not for them.
Yeah. That is such a good point, and I actually want everybody to write these two things down. First of all, 100% believe in what it is that you're offering, because people may have had it who are watching this right now, or who will be watching the replays, that maybe you had a job before, a sales job, and you are making phone calls, cold calling, or whatever it may be, and you are selling lippy lippy. You are selling a particular product that wasn't really something that you resonated with, and you feel dreaded to make those calls. If that is the case, then obviously the results won't show. You won't be able to serve a person. You won't be able to sell something. But if you truly believe in it, we had that example yesterday as well. Like, if right now with the coronavirus you have the cure, then what are you going to do? It is your duty to bring it. You believe in it so much, it can help people, it can save lives. And if you have that, then it is your duty to move it forward. So that's the first thing. Really believe in it. And then the second thing that I thought was like very, very brilliant, and you want to have to definitely write this down, is connect with people, right? Connect with people. And I think one of the examples that you mentioned here, that, doesn't matter who you're speaking to, there's always a connection point with your own life. There's always a connection point that you can somehow share with them your story, your vulnerability, to make them realize that, hey, I've been there too. And in your position, what I did was X, Y, Z. And so that's why I know that if you do this, this, and this, it could help you to get to that part as well. So that's a very, very good tip. So I said kip. That's a very good tip. I don't know what you guys know, but in Dutch, kip means chicken. I didn't mean to say chicken. So comment below and say connect with people. Now, I just want to ask one more question around this, Steve, because you said like to connect with people, but sometimes, and a lot of people may have experienced this as well, you pick up the phone, right? And they say like, hello. And it's like, it is so, like, it's so difficult to then start a conversation, because you're excited, you're about to have a lovely conversation, get to know the person, but then they're like, why are you calling me? Something along those lines. What would be your tip for people who are facing that in their business, and they're making a call and they have no idea what to do when the person is like so flat and they're like no emotion? What has been your experience, and what tip would you give the crowd with regards to that?
I would say, and actually the advice that I had given all the wealth yogis who've asked me that question as we've all been going through this together was maintain an energy level that is slightly higher than where they are. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful with that, because the example that you gave, like, you don't want someone to like bring your energy level so far down that it affects you. Right, you don't want to dive into that that lower end of the spectrum, but you obviously don't want to, like, I'm super excited every time I call, so it's a lot of effort not to be like, hey, how
you
doing? So
beep.
You're right. I have had a few of those calls. I have actually spoken with somebody who said that they did not apply, which is hilarious, because in my head I was thinking, then how did I get your number and know your name? But but afterward I was like, okay, sorry, like, didn't mean to interrupt your day, blah blah blah, bless. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is you don't want to have really disparate energy. Like, if you're really, really high and somebody's really, really low, they're immediately not going to resonate with you, and your conversation is not going to go very well. So you want to bring it down to kind of where they are, but like I said, keep it slightly above, because what that I've noticed on my calls, what that tends to do is bring them up. So if you stay slightly higher than they are, then they come up to you, and then you stay slightly higher than they come up, and you stay slightly higher than they come up. So you can actually, just by connecting with someone, relating with them, share your energy with them, and then have an impact. And I think that the reason that I learned that, and that I noticed that, and I started putting effort into that, was because in the middle, I was having actually a very difficult time, and I reached out to Master for some advice. And what he told me was, closing is not what's important. Leaving the person that you call happier when they hang up the phone than they were when they picked up the phone is what it's all about. And that changed everything for me.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. And this is something everybody make sure to write it down. the goal, and this is like really, especially for those of you who are new in business and you think about, okay, we're talking in this case, in this episode and yesterday's episode specifically about making money, right? But then you also hear us talk about surfing and helping people and making a difference. And one thing that you have to realize is that if you have something that is super powerful, it can make that difference to someone. So selling it means that you are serving the person. But one thing that Steve is so beautifully describing right here is that you must always keep your eyes on the true core of the matter, the true core of entrepreneurship, which is surfing at all times. And so one of the big things that all of the wealth yogis know of, but also all of our students in different capacities is that, and I want you guys to write this down too, is that the end, what you want is that you empower a person. So like Steve says, when you pick up a phone, the biggest goal that you have is that when they put the phone down, they leave the call empowered. Whether they decide to buy your product, buy your service, buy your program or not, you want to make sure that you had a positive impact on them. And when you focus on that, then all of a sudden you'll see that also you get more conversion. You make more sales. You help more people to that next level. So it's a beautiful concept. And when sometimes people say, "No, I need to make money. I want to make the money. I want to make the money," then the focus goes to that, and all of a sudden it goes a total different way because you were distracted from the true purpose, which is helping people. So thank you so much for beautifully describing that and sharing your experience in that. And I just think it's awesome to see you in action. Awesome to see all the beautiful things that you do. So thanks so much, Steve. Now, with that, I want to bring it to our final, but not least, amazing candidate, my fellow lady here. And I just want to say one thing about Christina, because Christina, you have such a powerful impact. You are such a boss. And when I say such a boss, I mean it with such a boss with love. And the way how when I watch your videos online or when I see you interact with other wealth yogis or how you really have a clear vision and you always know how to put things in perspective, that is so strong, and you are such a leader in that process. I first of all want to thank you for your leadership continuously throughout the whole program, but also how that has been such a powerful thing in your results. And the question that I want to ask you specifically here is that a lot of the time when people start in business and we say different things to them, like, you need to get visible, you need to make videos and all that type of stuff. They feel like, yeah, but how, like, why would anybody want to listen to me? And they don't feel that confidence. And they feel like, I'm just a newbie. But from your perspective, because from day one, I've seen you as this powerhouse that just, you boost through it with so much love. So my question to you really is like, what would you say to those people who feel like why would people listen to me? Why, like, what would my voice matter? How can you share that with them from your experience?
Yeah, I think I did a live on this yesterday about the imposter syndrome, where sometimes people they end up having doubts about themselves. A little bit about what Rajesh shared as well in terms of fear and being able to face that fear and know that when you have that feeling inside of you, that's when you know the magic is about to happen. You just need to believe in yourself and take that next step forward. I think even in the calls I was making, it was everyone is an expert at what they know.
Yeah.
And no one can take that away from you. So even as I was talking with other folks, Anna actually, that's in FLC, who's an amazing lady, sometimes just being able to listen to what someone's saying, you can hear their doubts, but you can hear their passion. And suddenly you can put into perspective all of the beautiful things that make them who they are and the value they have. And for me to say, I would buy that from you.
Yeah.
Because you are an expert at what you know. And someone will call you and ask for advice. Or you might come across someone randomly in the streets or in the stores, at least when we were in the streets and in the stores. And you're able to say, oh, here's something that I used, here's something that I did, here's offering advice. And so people are an expert at what they know, and sometimes they need some help to pull that from within to understand that is valuable. And it's something that no one can take away from them in those experiences. If they've come out of a difficult situation, if they've struggled through something, and they made it from point A to point B. That's a story. And also, there's someone else out there that's at point A, and they need your help to get to point B. And why would you not want to be able to bring that forward to be able to help them?
Yeah, 100%. Everybody, comment that below and say everyone is an expert at what you know, because exactly like what Christina says, sometimes like when we are going through our day-to-day life, and we all must have experienced that, right? You go through your day-to-day life and the different things that you do, they seem so normal to you, right? They seem like our daily habits, and whatever that habit may be, maybe your habit is looking after the kids and you're so quick in helping the children, they're quickly in being able to make some food, being able to do this. Whereas some people may look at it and think like, wow, are you like a super person? How do you do all of that? And then with other people, they may be good at computers and they do these computer things. They work with Excel every day, day in, day out, and it's like super fast. Well, how many other people are there out there that work with Excel but have no idea how to move a column to another place or whatever, and they would love your advice? So it's so true what you say, and like a lot of the time we don't even give ourselves credit for the expertise that we have. Right? We don't give ourselves credit because it seems so normal to us. We think like everybody can do that, right? But that's not the thing. If we realize exactly like what Christina is saying, that if you have gone from A to B and you actually dare to sit down and pat yourself on the back and say like, hey, yes, I've done all of this. I've come out of that difficult relationship. I have, gained my muscle or whatever it is that you have done, that you see like, I did this. And how many other people are there out there right now who want to achieve that? And that gives you all the right to speak. That gives you all the right to provide people with advice, with value, and to actually stand up as such. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I also want to say, like with you, right? Because you are a very good speaker. Very, very, very powerful speaker. And not only do you see that in your results whenever you are what we call closing and bringing in money and doing different things to get people from A to B, but also when it comes to just your online game, your visibility. Like I see your videos pop up everywhere, left, right, and center. And like a lot of the time for people, just picking up a phone, turning on that button to go live or to record a video can be really, really hard. What would from your experience, because I don't know if you've had it before as well, that in the beginning, that was super scary. What got you to actually start doing that? And what would your advice be for other people that are, not yet doing that, but they would really benefit from it in their overall business success?
People need to know who you are and they need to hear your message. And I think at first it was about me. What am I going to say? I don't like my voice. My hair is a mess.
No lippy.
No lippy on. And it's not about me. It's about me being able to serve other people. It's about me being able to share a message with other people. And so if I look at it that way, it doesn't matter how I look. It doesn't matter my voice. It does matter that someone out there needs to hear this message, whatever it might be. And why would I not do it? Because I'm scared? Because I'm fearful? Then that's where it's like, okay, if you have the butterflies in your stomach, and there's not a time that I don't press that button, and I'm like, press it, just do it. Because in some ways, whether you believe that your message is going to hit other people, you will grow from the experience. You will grow just by pressing that button. So if there's at all someone out there that's like hesitating and saying, I know that I'm supposed to go live and I know I'm supposed to be visible and I don't know what my message is going to be, that's okay. You're not alone in that. Everyone else that's pressed the button to go live feels the same way, no matter how wonderful they are. Like Tjibaria, when she goes on, it's just fluid, just flowing. But know that everyone can do that and everyone has a message. And if that is, I'm really tired today and I'm not sure if you feel the same way. And, it's just, I want you to know that you're not alone and we're going to get through this. Even something so small that can resonate with other people. And the beauty to this is that it's the entire world. Like when I start seeing even some of the comments and the people that are there that I know, I'm like, how the amount of people that I now know, this world is so small now. It's so big, it's so small because I've been able to speak with and be able to connect with people from all over the world. And that is such a gift that's so beautiful. And we're all people and we're all dealing with the same things. So whether or not it's that I'm really tired today, I don't know if you feel the same way. That's a person that's in India, that's a person that's in California, in Brazil, in Nigeria, Timothy in Texas,
South Africa.
So anyone that might be concerned about doing that, you have to understand that, people will buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And if they know you, so even like the calls that Steve is making, if you're able to connect with people, then they're going to be able to understand you. That energy flow that you're having with someone, you're going to trust that where they're coming from is from a good place. And for that reason, you're going to take their advice. It's kind of like feedback. You don't take feedback from someone you don't trust or you don't think that they have your best interest in mind. And I think when you're selling, that's oftentimes that disconnect that people have, is that they feel like, oh, no one likes being sold to. That's the truth. Especially because it doesn't seem like you have my best interest in mind. You don't know me. You're not wanting to know me. You can't make that connection and how this is going to help me. So when you're going live, you're able to make that connection with people through a message and being able to provide them with your guidance, your advice, or just in general talking. In today's age, everything is going to be social media and going live. It's just the day that we're in. I mean, even all the shows that we watch. So being able to connect with people, this is how we do it today. And if you're at all fearful or concerned, get over yourself. Get over yourself. Just understand that it is not about you. It's about other people getting to know you. And through that, they will benefit and you will grow so much in even being able to find your words.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better. It's so, so true. And I think the powerful message with this one is everybody comment below and say, I must get over myself. Because I know it is true, right? And especially like what you say about, building the trust. Because again, like everybody who's watching my videos every single day, like you guys will know this is something we talk about so often. Like people buy from people that they know, they like, and they trust. And how do you build that trust? It's so easy. You are, right? If you just are what you say, if you practice what you preach. And the cool thing is we all have access to a phone. We all can make a story. We can all make a little video. We can all take a snap and like whatever, right? We can connect with people in that way. And it gives people the behind the scenes, like the transparency of what it is that you do. I had another amazing superstar student. And she said, actually, like when she started to break through the money-making barrier, she said one of the biggest factor why she was able to close so well and really bring in like a lot of new clients, help them. She said it's because they checked out my social media and they saw like, not only am I speaking about this, they're seeing like you're doing this daily. You're not just speaking on it on the phone. You're doing it daily. You're practicing what you're preaching. You're walking the talk, or what's it like? You're walking the talk, right? you're doing that as well. So people can just see that. So I think this is very, very beautiful what you shared here. It allows you to actually connect and then further connect once you're on the phone with them, or once you are, running your masterclass or your event, whatever it may be, so that the trust is established. And like you say, we only want to take advice from people that, we feel connected with, or that people that we trust. It was a really, really beautiful point. Thank you so much for that. Now, there's one more question that I want to ask all three of you, right? Because again, we're from all different backgrounds. We're doing a lot of different things, and like you guys need to know the schedule of these guys, right, is crazy. Early morning till late in the evening, they're juggling around like variety of exciting projects, and they're just able to manage. And I can imagine that a lot of different people who are starting in business or starting out and wanting to launch and stuff like that, they'll be like, how? Where do I start? How do I do it? What do I prioritize? And a lot of successful people always talk about this, whether it's a successful athlete or a successful world leader or a successful parent. Like whenever a person has success, it has a lot to do with the routines that they have and the daily habits that they have. So I just want to ask you guys the question, like, what are your daily routines? What are your daily habits that like when you started to do those things, it made a big difference to the results that you are getting, to the different of things that you could take on the different things you can put your attention towards and efficiently. So I just want to start with Rajesh. What are your daily routines that really has made a big difference to you getting success?
Um, I mean, I actually kind of have routines which covers both physical and mental aspects of it, and to a large extent, even spiritual aspects of it. So, what I would suggest is probably people might think, okay, my routines are different, but covering these areas, I do yoga. I do yoga without fail. And then as long as possible, that brings me an absolute focus. And meditation I do every day, which gives me an kind of in fact, even before everything is done, when I'm actually about to make calls also, I make a very quick meditation for me to kind of clear the mind and only focus on serving. And about the food, when we are talking about the food, if you want to maintain this energy level for 16 hours, I choose the right food so that I'm able to maintain my energy levels. And another wonderful routine I've been maintaining is smiling. I always I always like to smile while in the call, while in the work, or while in the sessions that we have. That keeps me in the very, very light mode. And one of my biggest strength is all this together put me in the focus, in the highest level of focus when I'm learning or when I'm teaching, when I'm actually on call, irrespective of that. So these areas have actually kind of catered a lot to my success, because even if I sleep for 5 hours, I don't mind any. I mean, next day morning I'm fully fresh, and again I can do 4 hours, 5 hours of yoga, and then rest of the day really smashing it with all that energy. But then I created these habits over the time where I realized the importance of it, because all this contributes finally to the success. I mean, if you are not in the right physical this thing, the statements that we give will be different. And if we are not confident by ourselves, when we are talking to others, it will be different, right? Every single thing really impacts when you actually get onto the serving, because at the end of the day, I noticed people look up to me. People look up to the programs. People look up to their change in what we do. So if we really kind of create that routine where all these aspects are covered, both physical, mental, and spiritual aspects. Number one, my biggest change is the energy levels are always high. And I might have a trip here and there, but again, some people might ask, I don't know yoga. If at all, if somebody says you can still do running, then there is no equipment, no knowledge, nothing is required. And meditation doesn't need anything specific. But then food is only purely determination from each person, right? So for me, that worked really wonders. I mean, specifically, food is one of the major factor as well on what I eat. On a day when we were a little bit lazy and then have pizza or pasta, oh, next day you should see, right? I'm just sharing it. That's the straight fact. When I'm used to healthy food, on a day when I'm lazy and I'm having some heavy cheesy stuff, it impacts. So that food and all these three areas must be covered in one single day from the sunrise to sunset. What worked for me?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And Steve, what are your success habits? What are the things that you like to stick to that has made a big difference in your life?
Well, I used to have habits that really made a big difference, but now I just do what Master tells me to do. Master and Seb and you. So I would say going back to those, like what really helped me start making a huge shift in my life was something I picked up very early on from Bob Proctor actually was writing down 10 things that I'm grateful for every single morning when I wake up. That was the first step for me. I started learning about meditation shortly thereafter and integrating that into my life. That made a really, really significant shift. I would say the next two things that came along were, and this is not just a pitch, but my Kangen water made a huge difference in my life.
I second that.
like Rajesh was just talking about energy, that was the first thing I thought of. Was like, I've never felt such an energy shift as when I actually committed to that. Next was actually becoming a vegetarian on my way to being vegan, and it's not a meat is bad thing. It's a compassion sort of decision that just shifted in my life, and I noticed how I felt. Like again, like what Rajesh said, food. Food has a huge role in how you feel every single day. However, since I've gotten here, that has since shifted to waking up and doing an hour and a half of yoga in the morning. I do get my gratitude in. It's not quite in the same form, but after yoga, we meditate. After that, we start class, and it always begins with meditation. And even after our lunch breaks, it begins with some more gratitude. And the end of the day finishes with more lengthy yoga, which I'm a huge fan of, not just necessarily the yoga piece, but I used to spend a lot of time at the gym. So that physical component, I already knew the value of. All things that made huge differences in my life. One thing that I will say that I added while I was here had to do with actually making calls, what we were talking about earlier. It's not succinct to just calls. It's anything, and I've noticed just these past few days have been really, really stressful days. And I mean really stressful, like I'm really hard on myself, so I make it worse. So
You're amazing.
But again, like being told whether I needed it or not, when you're done with a call, you get up, like leave that room, clear your head, take a few deep breaths, just calm your mind before you go into the next one. And so I've literally, in some of the things that I've let frustrate me, because they're not frustrating, I just let them frustrate me. She'll get on to me, and then I'll reframe my brain and start laughing at it. And then she's like, "What's so funny?" And I'm thinking, "Nothing. This is absolutely miserable." But it's funny. So again, kind of to echo what Rajesh was saying, like smiling. And I noticed Tim made a comment about poker face. Yes.
Yeah.
Poker face your way, just smile your way through it. And it's amazing. I can honestly say going into it, I'm like, this is so stupid. It's not going to work. I'm so frustrated right now. But in a minute, tops 5, I'm like, hey, wow, that worked.
that is so true, so true. Like as well for everybody who's watching, like sometimes when you go into it, you feel like, what am I doing? But just keep on smiling, keep on smiling, and you smile your way through it. It actually makes it easier, and it actually allows you to see, like, hey, actually, it wasn't so bad, right? 90% of the things we worry about don't even happen.
Exactly.
So it's very, very beautiful, and also the way how you said it, like, you know what? It made me so funny. Thank you so much for sharing that, Steve. And one extra thing, like, you are so amazing. Like, don't even don't even say the words like oh my gosh, it's been like frustrating or whatever, because like for everybody who's watching this guy's got high standards, really, really high. So whenever he's like feeling like, oh, frustrating or whatever, then like for most people that would be like, whoa, achievement. So you're amazing. Don't be too hard on that. Now I want to ask Christina as well. What are your success habits, or what are the routines that you have made a difference in your life?
Yeah. So in my past and the jobs that I've had and the pressure that I put on myself, I've always had the question of having balance. And I came to the realization that it's really about harmony, having harmony in all the different areas of your life, because at times there's going to be something that's going to be more important. Let's say your career, or how it is that you're going to make money, or perhaps it's in relationships or with family because there's something going on. All the other parts of your life need to support that. So, health and nutrition is one of those areas. Spirituality is one of those areas. So how do you make sure that you have and you create harmony for yourself, so that you can make sure that your mind, body, spirit are all going to always be connected and in harmony? So a lot of the things that I've picked up is in doing an evaluation of those areas. And so I go through that every Sunday. Every night I will think about what I've done for the day and do the whole pat yourself on the back, what you could have done differently. And then my list of what I need to do the next day. So I have in my mind when I wake up, as soon as I wake up, I'm just like, go. Because I've already put in my mind what needs to be done. I've corrected, myself for what went well, what didn't during that day, and have outlined how am I going to make sure that, we're eating well, I'm getting exercise in, that I know what my key accomplishments are. Because one of the things that I thought of is oftentimes we're juggling. We're juggling a lot of different things. And so how do you make sure that the most important balls that you're juggling, those glass ones, don't ever fall, right? So in that way, you're just knowing what your priorities are. What are the priorities that you have in your life? There are going to be some things that may fall, and that may happen. If you're like me, you have a really long list of things to do every day, and they don't all get done, and that's okay because that's how I stretch myself.
Mm-hmm.
But there are the key things that absolutely need to get done.
Yeah.
And some of those things are going to be gratitude, in making sure that I'm grateful, making sure that I'm present in the moment, no matter how long the list is. If I'm here right now, I'm here right now. And I'm present in this moment. And that I take some time for myself. I am a giver, and I've always been more of a servant leader, a servant person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important for me to protect a bit of that for myself. And so oftentimes that's just a cup of tea. It's something really small, but something that I'm able to give myself every day, to make sure, and that's how I keep my own kind of the harmony for myself and my spirit in my life.
That is very beautiful, and I think as well, like for a lot of people that think like, how do you do it? How do you make choices? I think the way how you said it, the harmony, and sometimes yes, there are going to be a few parts that do not, those balls fall, like you say, right? Especially like what I can say from my experiences is that one ball is like the party animal ball or whatever. I've never been a party animal, but if there was a ball, there would have fallen. Because right now, with the goals and the different things that I'm doing, that's not a priority. It's not a glass ball right now. And this is the type of thing that is so crucial, that you think of, what are the things that you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve for yourself, for your family, your loved ones, for the people that you're helping, all these things together, which really are your top priority things that are just necessary, like the things that just need to get some attention every single day. And then to find that harmony between those things, that allows you to actually move mountains and to do more and stretch yourself every single day. So yeah, I think it was just beautiful. As you guys were speaking, I was just literally like enjoying myself listening to the wisdom that you guys have put forward. And I want to thank you all so much. And have a question for you as well. If these people, like definitely everybody who's watching this live or the replay, make sure to reach out to them. If they want to reach out to them, they could be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well, on these handles. Is that correct?
Not on YouTube yet for me, but LinkedIn. LinkedIn would be the other one for me.
Okay, cool. So everybody, make sure reach out to these amazing superstars. Follow their pages, go to their Instagrams, connect with them, send them a friend request, because they are just so wonderful, and they're always out to help people and always out to make a difference. And but you get inspired by just seeing their videos and seeing their posts. So really, guys, thank you so much for vibing here together, sharing your wisdom. It's been an absolute pleasure and so beautiful. Like, I cannot wait what else is to come in your beautiful journeys. And for everybody who's watching this, as usual, if you thought this video was useful, please feel free to give it some love. If you think that anybody needs to hear this right now, someone is going through something at this point, and the beautiful golden nuggets that these guys have shared can make a difference to them, then feel very free to hit the share button or to tag someone below. But most importantly, allow this to benefit you. Allow you to take on these advices, implement it in your life, and allow it to make a difference to you. So everybody, thanks once again for vibing together, and we'll see you tomorrow on another episode of Tjibaria's Daily Show. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.